Hello guys, welcome back to my channel where I talk about pretty much anything I want, but I talk about music a lot. And today, I am going to be doing a video that I was planning to do anyway, but this is the one that got requested first, so I'm going to do it. This is going to be the ranking for Oasis' 5th album, I think? Heathen Chemistry. So, this album actually came out the year I was born, I do believe. It came out in 2002, I believe, and that is the year I was born. So, yeah. And I really enjoyed it. I think I will need to redux my album rankings at some point, just because some of my opinions have changed quite a bit. But I do really enjoy this one, so this is a very solid album. So, without further ado, I'm going to get... In my eyes, this is a very solid album for Fatal Flaw, so we're going to get straight into the ranking with my number 11 pick, which is the last song on the album, Better Man, The Cage. Okay, so to be fair here, the song itself, Better Man, is not a bad song at all. In fact, I enjoy it. It would be a good closer normally. There's not much to say about it, but it's a good song. But then they did this weird thing, and this is what really pisses me off. So there's a bit of a psychedelic kind of instrumental hidden track called The Cage, which is fine. I have no problem with it being there, but it's really annoying because there is a 30-minute silence between the two songs. So I generally just skip. After Better Man finishes, I generally just skip. And this song is this album's fatal flaw. The fact that they decided to do a 30-minute hidden track, in my opinion, is this album's fatal flaw. And I can only give the song a 4 out of 10 because of that. The song itself is fine, but once it factors in the entire track, it's just annoying. Next up at number 10 is going to be A Quick Peep. And this is a quick entry. It's a pretty solid little instrumental, and there's not much to say about it, so I'll give that one a 6 out of 10. Moving on to my number 9, the first thing I would consider an actual song on this album. So, I don't hate this song at all, probably All in the Mind. It's a decent song, but again, it's just kind of forgettable to me. There's not much to say about it. So, we're going to stick that, give it a solid 7 out of 10, and move on to my number 8, which is going to be Force of Nature. I really do like this song, the heavier, darker aesthetic of it, and Noel singing on it. It's a decent song, but again, I don't know why, it's just not my favorite in general. But I have nothing against it, so it's solid enough. I enjoy it. It's just not my favorite. So, without further ado, I'm going to give that one a 7.5 out of 10. Moving on to my number 7? Yeah, number 7, 6, 5. Yeah, okay. Number 7 pick is going to be a bit controversial, but here it is. Alrighty, this song, Songbird, it's still a really solid track. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. I will say that Liam Gallagher wrote 2 songs on this album. He wrote this, and he wrote Born on a Different Cloud. And, we'll get to that later. But, I have a bit of an unpopular opinion about his songs on this album. Just this one, I think, is slightly overrated. It's a cute song, and I enjoy it, but it's just ever so slightly overrated. Maybe just because Liam wrote it. People made a big deal because Liam wrote it. But when we get to Born on a Different Cloud, you'll see what I'm saying in a minute. So, otherwise, it's a sweet little love song, and there's not much to say about it. So, the next, okay, my number 6. Speaking of sweet little love songs, here we go with the one I prefer on this album, which is She Is Love. So here we're getting into the songs that I actually want to talk about a little bit more. I just really enjoy this one. It's a really cute little love song as well, but quite frankly, Noel sings lead on this, Liam does some harmonies. Quite frankly, I love this song. It's so cute, and honestly, some of the instrumentals and the vibe of the song and the kind of melody of it, like here especially, and the guitar work there especially, this song reminds me a lot of a I'd say like a mid-era Beatles song, like around Rubber Soul, like Help, or like Rubber Soul, like around that era, like 1965 Beatles. Just the kind of vibe of the song reminds me a lot of that era of the Beatles, which is really nice. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but that's just kind of the vibe I get from it. So it's a really enjoyable song. It's a solid 8 out of 10. Otherwise, there's not much to say about it. So moving on to my number 5. Now we're in the top 5. Now we're talking. Here we've got the Hindu Times. We've got loud, classic Oasis, great riffs that you can just go, I mean, a la something like Supersonic or Shaker Maker, albeit not as good as those songs, but definitely still a good song. The Hindu Times, a great way to open this album. Oasis generally has decent album openers, in my opinion. Sometimes a bit interesting album openers, but they're decent at album opening. So, yeah, honestly, this song is one of the closest we're gonna get to, like, but definitely maybe kind of sound of Oasis on this album. So I do really enjoy this song, going to give it an 8.5. Alright, number 4. Here's where things get controversial again. I tend to like these, like, longer, I guess more psychedelic, I don't really know, sounding songs by Oasis. This reminds me a little bit of, where I was saying Hindu Times reminds me a little bit of, like, definitely maybe. This one reminds me a little more of, like, Be Here Now, or that kind of thing. And I really do enjoy this song, Born Under Different Clouds. This was the other song that Liam Gallagher wrote, and for some reason this one seems to get a lot of hate. I don't know why. I really enjoy it. Of course, Liam Gallagher's vocals on this. And yeah, it's long and it can be a bit repetitive, but honestly, that's a lot of my problems with Be Here Now. But Be Here Now has grown on me, believe it or not. So I may have to make a redux to my original videos about that album, because I have actually quite come to appreciate it. Still not perfect by any means, but yeah. So definitely, this song is a really solid one, and it's not as loud and obnoxious as most of Be Here Now, but it reminds me a little bit of something like Fading Out, I guess. Still a just really good song. Fading Out, by the way, super underrated track. Need to talk about that one some more. I think I need to do a redux of my Be Here Now rankings. So, anyway, I will do that soon. Alright, moving on to my number 3. This is my top 3 here. Hung in a Bad Place. Such an underrated song on this album. It comes right between Force of Nature and Stop Crying Your Heart Out. This song is so good. Liam's vocals, you've got that good riff going there again. A nice classic Oasis song again. Little riff there. It's just such a classic Liam experience, and I'm pretty sure Noel wrote this. I don't think Liam wrote this, but just like classic Oasis, just going back like to again, definitely maybe Morning Glory type era, the glory days of Oasis. They definitely still had it in 2002, and it's kind of interesting to think what kind of music they would make now, because Liam has lost a lot of his vocal capabilities from back then. So, like, if Oasis got back together and were a band again, would it be like as good? Or it's just something I kind of wonder. Because Liam Gallagher's album, it was okay. Like, I liked it, but like, come on, release more rock and roll. So, all right. That song, Born on a Different Cloud, by the way, gets a 9 out of 10, and Hung in a Bad Place also gets a 9 out of 10. Moving on to number 2. You all know which 2 songs these are. It's just the order. Number 2. I feel like this may be some people's number 1. I actually haven't seen if there are any other Heathen chemistry rankings on the internet, so I don't know. In terms of videos, at least, there might be tweets and stuff. In fact, I think you are. But I'd be very interested in seeing people's rankings of this album. And I feel like this song might be number 1 for a lot of people, and I can definitely see why. It took me a while to get into it, that's for sure, as with a lot of Noel's songs. But it's really good, too. Noel singing on this song, it works for me the same way Don't Look Back in Anger works for me. Don't Look Back in Anger, by the way, which is a song I will talk about any chance I get because it's amazing. But yeah, I was saying how Noel's singing doesn't work on a lot of the songs. This is still an amazing, amazing song. This is still a 9.5 though. And if you don't remember, I don't know if I gave them rankings, but when I did my Morning Glory rankings, I believe like the top 4 or 5 songs I did were all 10 out of 10 songs. I think it was the top 5, which were Don't Look Back in Anger, Wonderwall, Cast No Shadow, Morning Glory, and Champagne Supernova. I think I actually gave Champagne Supernova 11 out of 10 as a little joke. So anyway, fantastic song. Little by little, fantastic song, but not my number 1. Here's my number 1. Ironic that a song called Stop Crying Your Heart Out makes me want to cry so much. This song is just so good. Again, I always preferred Liam singing in Oasis, at least back in the day, because Liam is just part of Oasis in that way. And this is honestly such a fantastic song. I love how it builds. This is interesting. It almost like starts as like a piano ballad, which is not something you usually get from this band, but this song works so well. Everything just works in this song. Going back earlier in the song. And Liam Gallagher's vocals there, a very minimalistic production, and then we build up to a proper Oasis track. With some admittedly familiar sounding chords, but I'm not an expert on music, I just think it kind of sounds similar, so yeah. But dang, this song is fantastic. It's just such a good Oasis song, and one of my favorite Oasis songs. I say one of because like half of Morning Glory is my favorite Oasis song, so let's just move on. Alright guys, so that was the list. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, click like, subscribe to the channel, and comment your rankings down below. Now, I'll probably do a Be Here Now Redux soon, because I think my opinions have changed on that album quite a bit. And also, I will be doing some other stuff about Blur. I was going to do a Blur self-title ranking, and I forget what the other thing was I was going to do with Blur, but I think it was something. So I will just kind of see where that goes, and hope you all enjoyed watching the video. Have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.